Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
Hello. I like to capture my thought this morning with the words silly definitions. Silly definitions. I'm still talking about the transition of Elijah and the reception of the double mantle or the double anointing by Elisha. Now, if you remember, all throughout this thing, it was not just, that whole story is not just about Elijah and Elisha, but there are many more. There are many more players in it. And now these people are sons of the prophet. And these sons of the prophet, like we spoke the other time, they could discern that Elijah was going. And they could discern that Elisha was going to be left bereft. He was going to be bereft of Elijah. He wasn't going to get Elijah's companionship anymore. And they came to Elisha and look at what they said. Do you know that your master's head will be taken away from you? They kept using the word. In Jericho, they said it. In Bethel, they said it. In Jordan, they said it. They said, do you know that your master's head will be taken away from you? And they kept using the word master. Now, they were defining the relationship between Elijah and Elisha as a master-servant relationship. And that was a wrong relationship. Because according to Abraham, the covenant that Abraham made with this name, he said, a servant cannot inherit. It must be a son. So that is why we have been grafted, and now we are called the sons of God, irrespective of gender. So sons are the people who inherit, not servants. Because Abraham said to God, I have no son. And the person who is there, who has the likelihood of inheriting from me, is a servant. And God said, I'll give you a son. So God chose a son to give to Abraham to inherit. And now this is even one of the most powerful things. They kept referring to Elijah and Elisha's relationship, a master-servant relationship. That is a relationship without inheritance, without a future. And they kept harping on it. And they kept insisting, do you know your master's head will be taken away from you? And Elisha would always respond gruffly and says, I know, hold your peace. Don't mess my mind. These people were wrongly defining the relationship between Elijah and Elisha as a servant-master relationship, a relationship without rewards, a relationship without inheritance. But Elijah defined the relationship when he said, my father, my father, the chariots of Israel. So Elisha said, my relationship with him is not master-servant. My relationship with him is father and son. And therefore, I am positioning myself for the double glory. Be careful the kind of definition you allow others to make of your covenant relationships. Don't allow people to mess up your mind. Don't allow people to mess up the relationship. Don't let them put poisonous things inside your head. I said there's no inheritance for you. Don't allow them to do that. Don't allow them to feed your mind with poison regarding a covenant relationship that is going to be a blessing. This is what they were doing. By wrongly defining the relationship between Elijah and Elisha, what they were telling Elisha in actual fact was, there's no inheritance. This is a no-go, is a wasteful relationship. It's a relationship of waste. You are wasting your time. But Elisha had to clarify it. You call him master. I'm not his servant. I'm his son. It makes all the difference. And he's not my master. He's my father. Because he said, my father, the chariots of Israel and the horsemen thereof. Be careful when you allow people to invade and interfere in your covenant relationships and define what those relationships should be for you. You define those relationships and hold it secret. It is very important. Well, it's a choice you have to make. See you later.